Imagine being told that the massive missile strikes you just witnessed were just the clearance sale items from an old warehouse. That is exactly the chilling message coming from IARGC General Sardar Ibrahim Jabari right now. He directed a blunt warning toward Donald Trump, claiming that Iran only fired their old stockpile today, and that they are about to unveil weapons the world has never even seen before. This isn't just empty talk. While Iran claims they don't need Russia and China to defend them, those two are definitely in the background providing the brain and eyes for this fight. We are talking about critical satellite images, intelligence data, and advanced tech. It is a smart but dangerous play. Iran keeps their allies at arm's length to keep them from getting too entangled, but they are still using that high-level support to make their new threats very real. And as we speak, the situation is getting even more intense. Reports are pouring in of explosions in the southeastern port city of Chabahar. This is a huge deal, and not just for Iran. Chabahar is a massive Indian investment, a project meant to be a lifeline for trade into Afghanistan and Central Asia. It is really interesting that the Indian government actually left the Chabahar project out of their union budget this year. It looks like they did their own assessment and realized that without a waiver from the US, staying involved was just too risky for their global business. So, while Israel continues to methodically hit these strategic centers, the Iranian regime is promising a retaliation that goes way beyond their old stock. If they actually roll out these unseen weapons, we are looking at a level of escalation that is honestly hard to wrap your head around. It feels like the first wave was just the opening act, and the real storm is still waiting in the wings. Imagine being a world-class athlete like Pi by CNDHU and suddenly finding yourself stranded in a chaotic airport because the sky above you is literally a war zone. That is the reality right now, as Indian travelers are getting caught in the middle of this massive clash between the US, Israel, and Iran. Flights in Dubai have been completely suspended because of Iranian air strikes lighting up the skyline, and CNDHU is just one of the thousands left in limbo. The situation on the ground in Dubai is turning critical, especially after the incidents we saw at Palm Jumeirah. If you have family or friends there, you know how large the Indian community is in that city. Right now, everyone is being told to stay indoors and keep their heads down. While people in Tel Aviv are heading for the bunkers, the diaspora and tourists in Dubai are facing a total state of panic. The Indian authorities in Abu Dhabi are working overtime to put out safety advisories, but the chaos is real. We are likely going to see a lot more videos from regular people popping up on social media as this unfolds. It is a terrifying reminder of how fast things can spiral when you are just trying to get home. Stay safe, follow the official channel, and we will keep you updated as more names and stories from the ground start to come in. You are sitting in your apartment in Dubai, looking at the skyline, and suddenly the rules of your daily life change. No going out, no open spaces, just stay inside and wait. That is exactly what thousands of Indians across the UAE are dealing with this very second. It is a tense waiting game. There is this weird detail people are talking about, like the Fairmont Hotel. Some are saying that because the lights are still on, it means residential areas are not being targeted on purpose. Usually, if a hotel was on the hit list, those lights would be out as per protocol and the place would be empty. But even if the hits are not intentional, the danger is very real. We are talking about missile debris falling out of the sky into neighborhoods in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. That is the part that should really worry you. When these things are shot down, that debris has to land somewhere, and in a crowded city, that is a nightmare. The Indian missions are watching this like a hawk and changing their safety advice constantly. If you live there, you know how massive our community is, and that makes this a major crisis for so many families. You have to monitor the situation every single minute. We are staying on top of every development as it happens to keep you informed. Hang in there and stay safe. You are sitting at home in Dubai, and for the last 4 to 5 hours, you have heard nothing but the roar of explosions and bombing. That is the terrifying reality Priyanka Mishra is living right now, just 8 to 10 kilometers away from Palm Jumeirah. Think about that for a sec. You look out your window in the marina area and actually see missiles streaking through the sky. It is not just some distant news report anymore. It is right there. While things might look okay in her immediate neighborhood, the word from the Palm is that things are getting really disturbing. The airspace has been totally shut down since this morning, and the advice for you is simple. Stay inside and stay safe. Everyone is waiting to see what the next 24 hours will bring. With flights canceled and the tension through the roof, it is a waiting game that has everyone on edge. If you are in the city, you feel that heavy silence between the blast. We are keeping a close watch to make sure you know exactly what is happening right outside your door. If you're watching the sky over Dubai or Palm Jumeirah right now, you know the sound of those explosions isn't something you can just ignore. For several hours now, the booming has been constant, and the orders are strict. Stay inside, stay safe, and do not move. The airspace is completely shut down, and while the UAE government works to bring this situation under control, the bigger picture is starting to look like the end of the road for the regime in Iran. Think about it, the world has been trying to negotiate with these guys since 2016. But you're dealing with a regime that has killed 40,000 of its own people. They clearly have zero regard for human life. They've been trying to play a game of nuclear blackmail, similar to the situation with Pakistan, but the region simply cannot afford that kind of threat anymore. Khamenei was given a clear choice. He could have his nuclear program, or he could keep his regime. He chose the weapon, and now he's getting exactly what he deserved: total regime collapse. They can talk all they want about their ballistic missiles, but they only have a finite supply of them. Every single time they pull out a mobile launcher, the sensors find it instantly. At this point, it's like they're trying to fight with bows and arrows against a much stronger force. This isn't just about containment anymore. We're looking at a fundamental shift in power. If you're caught in the middle of this, hang tight and keep your head down. The next few hours are going to be critical as we see if this 47-year cycle finally breaks for good. Let's be real, we are officially past the point of polite letters and economic sanctions. The situation in West Asia has turned into a total tinderbox, and right now, the match has been lit. The US and Israel have launched their strike, and Iran is already hitting back at US bases in the region. We are currently sitting at the limited war stage on the escalation ladder, but if this keeps up for just a couple more days, we are looking at a full-scale war. The goal here is pretty clear. The military is going after the surface-to-air missile sites, the cruise missile production centers, and the ballistic missile factories. It is all about defanging Iran and making their arrows useless by taking out the bows. If this doesn't stop, the next step is a full-scale war covering huge parts of the country. And even though the ground troops aren't quite in place yet, a ground invasion is officially the next rung on that ladder. It is a terrifying chain of events, and we are reaching a point where there might be no turning back. You have to wonder, when the dust settles, what will be left of the map we know. We are following this every step of the way, so stay close and keep your head down if you are in the zone.